Hey folks, so let's see Fourier integral representation today. The Fourier integral representation of a function f of x is that f of x is equal to integral 0 to infinity a omega cos omega x plus b omega sin omega x d omega, where a omega is 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x cos omega x dx, and b omega is 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x sin omega x dx. So the objective of this video is to derive the Fourier transform, Fourier cosine transform and Fourier sine transform from Fourier integral representation. So let's start with the derivation of Fourier transform. So we have the Fourier integral representation here, and we know that cos theta is equal to e power I theta plus e power minus I theta by 2, and sine theta is equal to e power I theta minus e power minus I theta by 2i. To avoid confusions, let us consider that theta is equal to omega x, and upon substituting in the Fourier integral representation and simplifying, we get this: f of x is equal to 1 by 2 integral 0 to infinity e power I theta a omega minus I b omega plus e power minus I theta a omega plus I b omega d omega. Now let us separate the integrals into 1 by 2, that comes to the whole integral 0 to infinity a omega minus I b omega e power I omega x d omega plus integral 0 to infinity e power minus I omega x a omega plus I b omega d omega. Let us replace this omega in the second integral with minus omega. Therefore the limits also change. Rather than from 0 to infinity, now they become from minus infinity to 0. So, and we have a of minus omega plus b of minus omega, and e power minus I omega x become e power I omega x. Now coming back to the the actual function of a omega and b omega, we find that a omega is equal to f of x cos omega x. So a omega is an even function and b omega is an odd function. So a of minus omega will give us a omega, and b of minus omega will give us minus b omega. So the function becomes 1 by 2 integral 0 to infinity a omega minus I b omega into e of I omega x d omega plus integral minus infinity to 0 a omega minus I b omega into e power I omega x dx. Now since both the functions are same, let us combine the integral. F of x is equal to 1 by 2. Now the limits go from minus infinity to infinity. Integral minus infinity to infinity a omega minus I b omega e power I omega x dx. Now from the definition of a omega and b omega, if we write a omega minus I b omega, we get a omega minus I b omega is equal to 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x cos omega x minus I sin omega x dx. Now we know this is the same as e power minus I omega x. So let us substitute that, and substituting the value of a omega minus I b omega in f of x, we get f of x is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity, again another integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e power minus I omega x dx e power I omega x d omega. This can be written as f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e power minus I omega x dx e power plus I omega x d omega. Now if we look at the central part, this 1 by root 2 pi integral f of x e power minus I omega x dx, we know that this is basically what Fourier transform of f of x is. So hence we have derived Fourier transform from Fourier integral representation, and the outer part here is basically inverse Fourier transformation. So it's inverse Fourier transformation of f of x. So since the Fourier transform and inverse Fourier transform sort of cancel each other, we get f of x. Hence Fourier transform has been derived. Coming to the derivation of Fourier sine and cosine transform from Fourier integral representation. Now how in case of Fourier series, if the function was odd or even, it could simplify the formula for the Fourier series. Similarly, for Fourier integral representation also, the formula could be simplified. Now consider the function f of x that we have considered previously, and if f of x was an odd function, then a omega, which is equal to 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x cos omega x dx, will become 0, because we have an integral from minus a to a, where here a is infinity, and cos omega is an even function and f of x is an odd function, so the product of an even and odd function will give us an odd function. And consider b omega, which is 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x sin omega x dx. Here sin omega x is an odd function and f of x is an odd function, so odd into odd we get an even function, which is equal to, so it will be 2 times, so 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin omega x dx. Now when we apply a omega and b omega in f of x, that is f of x is equal to integral 0 to infinity, here we would have had the term a omega cos omega x, which will become 0 now, and b omega sin omega x d omega. Substituting b omega, we get this integral 0 to infinity 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin omega x dx sin omega x d omega. Now rewriting this into this format, root over 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity root over 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin omega x dx sin omega x d omega. Now if you look at this part, the central part, this is basically the Fourier sine transform of f of x, and the outer part here, that's basically inverse Fourier sine transform. So Fourier sine transform and Fourier inverse sine transform cancelling each other will result in f of x. So that's the derivation of Fourier sine transform from Fourier integral representation. Moving on to deriving Fourier cosine transform. So in the last case we saw when f of x was odd. In this case let us consider f of x is an even function. In that case b omega will become 0 and a omega will become 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x cos omega x dx. Similarly, substituting a omega and b omega and f of x, we get this integral 0 to infinity 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x cos omega x dx cos omega x d omega. Similarly, rewriting, we end up on this expression root over 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity root over 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of x cos omega x dx cos omega x d omega. Now again this central part, that's basically the Fourier cosine transform of a function f of x, and the outer part is inverse Fourier cosine transform, and as they cancel each other out we get f of x. So that's the derivation of Fourier cosine transform from Fourier integral representation. Thank you.